Hi everyone, so a look at my setup. It is super basic for slapping. So all the starts that I use go directly under the float, and I will use 3 or 4 number 8 starts depending on what size mill pellet I use, or if I just want it to be more visible. It is as simple as that. So just as I have explained there, I will be catching 4mm pellets with a 6mm pellet on the band. If I feel like there's a lot of F1s in the area, I will switch it to an 8mm to try and target the carp, but I'll always start with a 6mm first. So I've tried to include more bits where you see me feeding and things like this, so you get a better idea of just how this method works. So I've got this fish on, I'm letting it play. I'm on a grey hydro, which is like a 12 to 14. It's not going anywhere. Gives me plenty of time to just feed up this swim while I'm playing this fish. I could not do that and just get the fish out quicker, but I like to get a nice rhythm with the feeding. And I find once you do that, you start to learn when you're going to get your bites and when it's not working, which is all really important. Getting a rhythm in shallow fishing is by far, to me, the most important thing. So that is a great start. Firstly, it's a carp, which is what I'm targeting. I mean, there's a lot of F1s in here, and there's some big ones and there's some small ones. So if I can get carp, I definitely prefer that. What a cracking fish. And this is why shallow fishing can be so lethal. It's the first video I've done on Lilly in nearly a year. And any videos you watch of me on here, I will always be doing shallow fishing. Because there's those lilies in the middle, it draws a lot of fish there. So the anglers that have got those lilies across from them will often either fish a pellet waggler to it, slow sinking bubble, or do what I'm doing now, slapping or swinging a rig out. So you can see Gary across from me there, just in shot, Gary Brooks. Poor lad has got so much wind going to him. The anglers on that side, it is so windy. And he is fishing the slow sinking bubble. And Gary is probably one of the best shallow anglers that I know, and I'll give him credit. He's very good at slapping, jigging, slow sinking. You name the method, the guy can do it. And I must say, in the last few months of fishing against Gary, I've picked up quite a bit off him. And even though I thought I knew a lot about shallow fishing, you realise there's still a lot more to learn. So I'm quite grateful for anglers like Gary that come to Lodge and the other venues that I go to, where I can pick up these little tips from. So 2 carp, really happy with that, living the dream. I've got a good weight already with those 2 carp, I've got well over 10 pound. This is exactly how I want this to continue. If it continues like this, I'm going to be on for a great weight and have a chance at winning the match. So what I've done there, while I was slapping, I've seen a fish just going past and I've mugged it. I've slung the rig over it and it's took it. You can get some absolutely massive fish mugging. It's definitely the quickest way to build a massive net of fish, because you're targeting the very biggest fish that you see going past. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a thumbs up. A like will definitely help my videos, and if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. It's completely free and I don't want you to miss any of my future videos. Thank you. So it had managed to kick the hook out in the net and rehook itself. However, you saw the size of that fish. That's a really big ghostie, so it was very visual to me. I've got my polarized sunglasses on, and it was just so easy to just chuck that pellet in front of it and see if it would take it. So if ever you do see any big fish going past, don't be afraid to just flick a rig in front of it. It takes 2 seconds and you might land a giant fish like that. And look at that wind in the water. You can see how bad it is and how difficult it is to present anything. I was quite lucky that I were able to slap where I were. I'd just got it over my back. It were making it difficult, don't get me wrong, but I mean, unfortunate that the fishing pole I've got is pretty stiff. It does handle poor weather like this pretty well. That fish has gone absolutely berserk, and this was an issue. Obviously lilies attract fish, and also they make it easy for fish to break you at the lilies. Throughout the match I did lose a couple of fish. I went through about 8 hook links. I mean, if you do foul hook anything, it's really difficult to keep away from them lilies. These fish are powerful already on LodgeFarm. You have to accept that. That is part of the match here. But the rewards by far outweigh it. So you've got to do it. Like I say, a lot of anglers will throw the waggler to the lilies. I've done it myself. And equally, that's just as risky. You will go through a lot of hook links. But it's where the fish are, and the problem with that is if you try and fish short here, it is very difficult on this pond to get a weight that will compete, because they are so drawn to those lilies. They're not willing to come close in. Obviously, as the end of the match comes, you will get some on a short line, but by then it's too late. The anglers that have fished towards the lilies have got too much of a start on you. So yet another carp, really happy with that, because there's usually loads of F1s here. So far, I definitely am living the dream, and I am definitely winning this match so far. Gary has just started to get them going at the lilies on the slow sinking bomb, or bubble, whichever you want to call it. So that is a method that, you know, a lot of anglers do, well, can use, but don't usually do it. Gary especially, I'd never seen him do it before. I know he could do it, as I mentioned before, but it's almost, I'm going to say, frowned upon, and I'm not having a dig. It's what needed to be done. Gary couldn't present the jigger, couldn't slap. He tried it all, he'd done everything you could think of. The wind made it very difficult for him to present anything. So he did the only thing that he could do to win this match. He's a super competitive guy, and he did, like I said, he did what, whether it's frowned upon or whatever, he can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's within the rules here. So he's throwing that bubble in, and he's starting to catch a fish a chuck. So I know I've got to be accurate with my feeding, which is difficult in this weather, but I need to be as efficient as possible and just do everything I can, because whenever his bubble is hitting that water, he's hitting a fish. So the last two fish were a bit smaller, but still carp. So I'm guessing maybe those bigger carp have moved back, or maybe gone into the lilies. But I'm going to stick at the 13 meters. I can't really go any further than that. It's just too windy. I'm not going to try and throw into those lilies just yet. I would only do that if this line died off, because the fish will back off into there. Now, I'm not going to use a bubble. I have done it before. But I do have a water waggler set up. So that's a waggler that hits the water and doesn't really go under the surface. It like automatically just sits straight, and you can get a really responsive bite on it. But like I said, this wind is making it difficult to present anything or cast. I mean, Gary is super accurate with that bubble. Obviously there's a bit of weight to it and it's able to cut through that wind, and that's why for him that is the best method he could be doing right now. I mean, he's got Rob to his left. He's having to fish down the margin because the wind is that bad. And the anglers to the right, they're all fishing quite short as well. The wind is just really intense on that side. On my side, quite a few of us are fishing long and slapping, fishing shallow. Like Will Shepherd to my left, he's fishing shallow. To my right, I've got Dave. He's tried the water waggler to the lilies. He's not had much luck. So you do keep an eye on the anglers around you as a fisherman as well, to see if there's a different method that is working better. But as of right now, I'm definitely doing the job. So I'm not going to change anything up unless I absolutely have to. So that was a better carp, perfect size, 5 or 6 pound. If I can catch up them all day, I'll be absolutely buzzing. I've still stuck with that 6mm. I've not switched to an 8. I've got no need to. The F1s have stayed away, and like I said, I will continue on that 6mm until I feel I need to get past those F1s with an 8mm. I mean, the F1s will still take an 8mm in here, but it definitely does discourage them. So if you're new to shallow fishing or you're not, I would always recommend to do what I'm doing now. While you're playing that fish, keep feeding that line. You're just drawing fish away from the angler to the left and the angler to the right, and keeping them in your area. Because if you do get a fish, let's say foul hooked or just a big fish that takes longer than usual to get out, if you haven't fed that line, those fish are going to start dispersing to the anglers that are feeding. So I cannot stress enough, it's so important to keep feeding as often as you can. You don't want to do that. Anyway. If you've never fished at LodgeFarm before, I will say that the fish here, they fight like crazy. it doesn't matter what kind of fish it is, they're just built different. That's the only thing I can say. And look at this F1, that is an absolute banger. And there's lots of them in here. And if I do start getting a lot of these showing up, or if I start suddenly missing bites, I will switch to a jigger. Now I will give you a heads up, I did switch to a jigger in this match, and unfortunately my elastic broke. It weren't the fish weren't too big for it, it's just it were obviously a little bit worn. I've not seen it, and it's just ripped the connector end straight off. Goodbye, jigger gone. But jigger is really good here. And I've seen Gary and Craig Crosby, aka Horrible Craig, use it here, and it can be absolutely devastating. I watched Gary Brooks a couple of weeks ago on Long Island, and he just picked me in the match, and it was from the fish that he was jigging for, and it just beat me. So I have added the jigger now into my armoury. Fair play to Gary, he gave me a little lesson on it, because it's not something I'd ever really done before. Showed me his setup, showed me how it works, and I've started to implement that into my matches now. Only when I think that there's some either little fish or really quick fish that I just can't hook into, switch to jigger, get them out of weight, and then get back on my slapping rig. And that has really been helping put some extra weight in. So there is times when that jigger is, you know, untouchable, but there is times where I find I get a much better response on my slapping rig. So now I have them both set up, so I'm winning either way.
Horrible Tommy strikes again. Kingfisher tried to land on my pole.
Wow, what an experience. I mean, it's not often that you see kingfishers, let alone have one try to land on your fishing pole while you're fishing. So yeah, this is another reason why we love fishing. Nature is part of that. Now there is a pair of kingfishers that do live on Long Island. That's obviously one of the two that's trying to use me to get to the little fish. Maybe next time he'll manage to land it. So Gary is definitely going fish for fish with me right now, and there's really only me and him that's catching this prolifically, so it is a head-to-head with him once again. As so often has been over the last 2 months, he wins a lot of matches here. I'm trying to win a lot of matches here, so I love this. This is what keeps you motivated. It's what keeps you fishing better, and it, you know, you need this. You need someone who can push you to your limits, and it makes you get better. So I'm only grateful for this right now, and I love this. I love this rivalry. I love pushing, and right now we are having such a good battle.
I'm not being forced, quite chunky to get on.
So I've put that fish in my second net. I will have clicked £40 in the first net, so I'm probably on £45 now with that fish. Really happy with that. I've got there in quite a quick period of time. I think to win this match, you're definitely going to need over £100. You always need over £100 here. But in the time I've caught that in, I feel like I'm going to meet that goal. So far, so good. I'm not going to change anything, and why would I? I'm exactly where I need to be.
I got ya. Good try, kid. You are the most annoying fish.
So that carp is what we would call a top pond carp. That is the pond that's behind you, and those fish are animals. They break margin poles, barbel rods, you name it, they are just next level. So when you get an absolute psychopath, in this pond we always say they're a top pond fish. So you saw how he ripped off, tried to get to those lilies. Not a massive fish, but fought like it was absolutely huge. Then even in the landing net, I had to edit that out. It took me well over a minute just to get the hook out, because it would not give up fighting me.
Fish out. Woohoo! 12 pound and all.
So that was the first fish I got out in an hour. That's because I'd lost the last 4 fish. I'd one that took my elastic with a jigger, one that ripped off another connector that had it. Obviously I think through going to Oldcroft they've had that much hammer, and I've not checked him, and they've gid up on me in this match when I really could have done without that. And then I had 2 that brought me at Lily's, so I had an hour of nothingness, and that was the first fish I got out. 12-pounder every day of the week, absolute unit. Couldn't be more relieved to get that, because Gary's had 4 or 5 fish out while I've had none. So I'm now in the third net, and I usually do £40 per net. So I've definitely got £80 so far at this point. Getting towards that £100, which I think I'm going to need. Fingers crossed. So I've not had a bite for 20 minutes. I've just lost one on the rod. It broke me at my own keep net. I'm thrown straight back in and fish on. Now there's going to be some people out there saying, why didn't you do that all match? Because if it was that easy, I would. A, it's blowing a gale, and B, I ain't got enough hook links. These fish are there for a reason. They know they're safe as houses. You saw how that fish took that. I'm on a tag, and being on a tag, obviously that's how you're breaking up links and breaking main lines and stuff like that. It's got to be efficient and productive. I've only gone there because I was desperate because I've not had a bite in ages. That is a great fish. There's a lot of little fish that are there that aren't going to get me anywhere in match. Anyway, let's see how we got on.
Not very good at all.
Anyway, I got my rod back.
Did you?
To get down. Language, you're on film.
I'm doing a lot of editing around here.
It don't mean say you can swear. Say you think you own it, don't mean you can say oh. 29 now. You did, you swore in. You're okay? I'm alright, mate.
I've had the odd F1.
Yeah, right. Ooh, you got a cold feet? 47, 14, not cold, butcher up.
I got one nice fish up in water, it's a banger. That one in there.
You've got a big spawn.
Wish they were like that all the time.
You'd lose even more. 42-4.
This, very disappointing.
We tried harder, Paul.
I did try.
I've done alright, Paul. I've done above 100 pounds.
Should have had a lot more today.
21-2.
What do you reckon you've actually broke your duck and walked up at Lilly?
No, Gary's with me today on bubble.
111-4.
Gary's fishing bubble.
Yep,
Gary Brooks is
Yeah.
he's fish bubble.
Yeah, fine on.
Ban him! Ban him!
Is it switched on?
Yeah.
Gary! You're a bubbling.
Kill it.
Skin it and not tell anyone.
And then when we come for some
You'd
pellets,
have to tell someone.
we get some pellets and skin on the side.
I put skin up in caddy. 48-2. He's got you now. An error.
That's it.
Kev's tell me how good it is.
If Kev's told you how good I am, it'll have took him a long time. He's making some awesome things with a shot.
Bit early for you to be this pissed, isn't it?
Poor lad, he nearly died of choking as we were in the shop one day. Oh, he did, 52, 3.
I thought you had more than that. You had some good fish out of there, didn't you, Rod?
Just crossed up.
Ended up losing £76 altogether because I got 57 in one, 4 and 64.
And what did you weigh?
Ended up with £100. I should have weighed 176.
Oh, wow. I don't mind. I like Long Island.
I don't know.
I know you do. You might as well sit on your peg now.
We have fish
We're on Long Island on Sunday.
I was surprised when you weren't on it last week when we were on it, actually.
Catch out though.
I'll not catch you.
Next league match
we
on Long Island, Gary.
That's why I want to go on it.
36.
We're not daft, you know.
I've got 13 in club and I think there's 7 of it coming on, so Nick others are away. 34, 15.
Hey, come in Monday with you, did?
No, I don't think I can get out. Hammered me, I told you.
Yeah, but you, considering you don't do it, that's been a good. Did it start making sense as you're going through there?
I've enjoyed it.
Have you raised it up and down with depths, or did you just stick with one?
84.
You've had a good weight, 84.
7 inch out like that.
What it? I've had to stay right long, mate. I don't come anywhere near float. I've just been. I used jigger today, but the fish liked my jigger so much it took it weight.
Did you only have one?
Yeah. To be fair, we're running out of elastics. Rock 2.
21.6. When they're on it,
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
Well, I've told you what I've said all along. There's no bad days, you can angry. Get that one on you.
And we got more sated listing by the end of the day.
Net violation.
Net violation!
Yeah. I'll have to look at it. 76.6. Definitely.
Oh no! I want
You're back.
Yeah.
So I'd have said you're with best bigger.
No, I'm talking about win. Top to back.
All depends on which.
What did you say you got? 94. I changed it to 26. Last hour and a half.
Can't weigh are they yours?
7.3.
You know how small we are, yet no carps gone in the NAS since COVID. Since that day.
88.11.
Well done, mate.
You know?
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Oh, I've not booked him yet.
Anyway. Oh, what's this about no silverfish league?
I'm having an every fish counts this time.
Because you got beat.
No, I did alright.
18.10.
Just put them back. Just chuck them back.
£48 there. £52.7.
Net violation!
£48. £52.
Net violation!
53 in there.
48.
53 in there.
Go on, say it.
Craig Crosby. Horrible Craig. Net violation.
Hey!
£3 on.
73.10.
You'd have beat Nick,
£80.
who also a net violation.
Beat me and
You'd have done
Gary
it.
the Bubbles beat me.
You'd have done it. No, we didn't.
You would? Why? What's he had under? 84.
He had 88.
88.
88
had been
Did
close.
you have 15? Did you go with the 15? No.
He
No.
was close.
£5.
£10.
I got freaking boo blade. Gary,
Who's fish bubble?
Gary,
Who?
Gary Brooks fish bubble.
Gary who? Gary Morris?
He boo blade me.
Gary. 33.40.
I don't think it's 33. You might win it.
No,
The first time ever.
no.
You might win it. We're getting round in a pub.
I should have done. I've lost so many fish today. I've lost 8 uplinks today. We've been up. It's been a nightmare, mate. Two fish coming in and connectors. Connectors went. Rip elastic connector off. It's just like I didn't know what else. I'm like, why am I having this luck today? I'm like, I'm fishing a really nice match. Everything's just failing on me. It's not been anything I've done. It's just the kit has let me down. That's a net violation. Net violation. Envy.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
You're not strong enough to bring it up.
Net violation, that one.
No.
It's way over.
No, you didn't even picked it up. I don't need to. You know.
Well, it goes with
That's
bubble,
the
doesn't it?
third violation.
That is net violation number 4 for Gary Brooks this week. What do I need?
Oh, you'll be alright.
Tell me what I need.
Another net
Tell me
bite.
what's in here. No?
That'll be alright.
It's not. There's only 3 fish in it, mate.
Oh, why is he lying for?
Do lie. I don't do lies.
You don't usually, to be fair, I'll give you that, mate.
Well, can you trust anybody who's got a bubble?
What's them 3 fish you've got enough?
Oh. Oh.
4 in there, Gary.
I don't lie.
Why
I don't
lie for,
Gary?
Gary?
Don't lie, Gary.
Why lie?
Put net in there a bit closer.
That's it.
And
I don't
ask
lie.
Ian something. What sort of car's he buying? You do.
You like bubble?
What you said. 2210.
Not my van, Gary. That's Virgil.
Yeah.
If you hadn't have had a net violation, I reckon you'd have done this.
He's done it.
Diane. Sorry,
121 1.
Well done, Gary.
What did you have?
I only have 111.
You don't deserve it. Lie about 50.
I've been on the worst peg on pond for winter.
Thank you, Gary. I said that.
Well, it's the best
thank
peg
you.
on the pond.
Not now.
For a note on the bottom of that waste sheet so that people know Cassie's open. 22.
What, on Monday?
Yeah.
Nice.
$39.
39 2.
Yeah, mate. I've had a night, mate. Gears let me down. I've gone through 2 elastics, 8 uplink.
61 12.
So there we have it. Gary, even though he went over on a net, naughty boy, has just beat me. Fair play to him. I mean, he did bull me. Like I said, it's almost frowned upon, but well within the rules. And it's definitely something I'm going to start doing. In moments like that, where the wind is just making it impossible to fish where my strengths would be, that's when you use it. And that's exactly what Gary Brooks did. And look what he did. He won the match. He did what he needed to do. Fair play. Well done, mate. Well deserved. And fair play to everybody who managed to actually catch fish in that really bad wind and present something. I really enjoyed the match. And I hope you've enjoyed it too. I'd like to say a big thank you, as always, to my international fans. The Netherlands, doing it again. And the ladies, 6.4%. Wow. Thank you so much. If you would like to use any of the floats that you see in any of my videos, go onto Facebook, like this page, I'll approve it. £1.35 per float. We post daily. Go and grab yourself a bargain. And that is it for another video. I've tried to make it as action-packed as possible while trying to, give you an idea on how it all works. Didn't quite get the win this time, but I'll keep trying. And until next time, tight lines and silly.
Up the T-Nooks.